Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle and I'm doing a reading for Taurus today. That's Taurus in all placements, and it's timeless and general, so take what resonates, and if it doesn't, feel free to check out any of my other videos. They are all timeless and all placements as well. I'm doing a general reading, looking at what's going on with you currently. I'm going to be reading the Enchanted Map Oracle to begin, to get the baseline of the story, and then I will clarify with some other decks. I'm learning this deck, and we'll be reading reversals for this deck, and so I'll be reading from the book a little bit. So let's dive in. Oh, and thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And feel free to comment if this resonates for you. All right, diving in. We've got 25 Metamorphosis. Oh, I get so excited with yeah, transformation, metamorphosis. This is a big, something huge is changing within yourself, within your life. Stuck in the Mud in reverse, number 24. Interesting, because I just did a birthday reading for Taurus and Stuck in the Mud came up. Curious to see what reverse is all about. And Commitment in reverse, number 36. Okay. So, okay, so Metamorphosis, I'm not even going to read that because I feel like that is very self-explanatory. However, Stuck in the Mud, I'm going to hold this up so you can see it, but imagine this is reversed. Wait, hang on. I need my glasses to see. When this card is reversed, it reminds you that you're stuck due to your obstinate desire to get what you want, when and how you want it. Perhaps it's uncomfortable to admit that the course of action you've chosen for yourself isn't right for you now. Even so, you have a choice. You can struggle in the mud and get nowhere, or take a moment to observe where you are, then step out, wash away the dirt, dry off, and find other things to do. A much better adventure awaits you. You'll know when it's time to embark upon it. All right, and then Commitment. 36. Again, reversed. You may be walking into a commitment or contract you will later regret. This isn't a good time to sign agreements or make any choice that would tie you up for a long period. If you're in a relationship, you may not receive the commitment you desire. Don't despair, for something much better awaits you. Now is also the time for agreements to be broken. Remember that rejection is God's protection. What hurts you now leads to wisdom later. So this is feeling like there is a metamorphosis happening in your life, specifically having to do with something where you are it's like you're trying to force an issue, you're trying to push a door open that is not meant for you, that is not opening easily. In my personal experience, um if you have to struggle at all to get something, it's not for you, or it's not the right time. When something is right, it's like you barely do anything and the doors go flying open. And it's just like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing, because it's so easy, like it's effortless. And right now, you are meant to either break some kind of commitment, or something's not meant to come together because there's this major change happening. Maybe whatever this is that you want, where you do feel stuck and you're trying to force an issue or force your way through something, um it's not meant to happen until the metamorphosis is complete. You can't fly until you've made your way out of the cocoon, taken time to rest, dry off your wings, and then you can carry on and go live a beautiful life of eating nectar and being free. Okay, so let's go to it's Monday. So I'm gonna start with the Mystic Mondays deck. What is on your mind right now? What are you thinking about this situation? Sorry. I try not to shuffle on the table because it's kind of loud. I'll do it from my lap, on my lap from here. Okay, so we've got the Devil, Capricorn energy, the King of Swords, and the Moon. King of Swords, that's air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Moon is Pisces and also Cancerian energy. Hey, Rebecca is here. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Um, yeah, so I'm getting the sense that you're looking at your desire for something that you could be obsessively thinking about, something you're obsessing over. There's something that you may know you need to give up, but you don't want to. So there's some kind you feel chained to something or someone, or you're dealing with some kind of addiction or some kind of toxicity in your life that you know you need to release, but you get some kind of fulfillment from it. And you're being very logical about this. You're really trying to go about kind of analyzing this compulsion in within yourself, or maybe someone you're dealing with. You're really trying to analyze it and go about it from, be very rational. You're making your pros and cons list, and you're just like, okay, let me just look at the facts here. Like, I feel really drawn to this thing. Why? Like, really trying to get to the heart of the matter and to understand what it is, why you can't let something go. Because especially here, you see the King of Swords. His sword is down. He sometimes in the card the sword is up. This speaks to me of not being ready to cut something away because you're in the process of analyzing right now, because it's not clear to you. You maybe you recognize that your thoughts, or your maybe it's kind of a mixture of your thoughts and emotions and all the things, um somehow are distorting your ability to see clearly. And I feel like you have this decision to make, and it's very it's it's difficult to know what direction to go in this moment, because a part of you really does want to move in this direction where you're on this kind of endless uh, staircase where if you keep climbing or moving towards this, it's kind of like an Escher painting where you like you think you make it to the top and then you come out and now you're sideways and you're like, "Wait, but I thought," or it makes me think of like the moving staircases in Harry Potter. um, and having to constantly like figure out where you're at, where you're going. It's like it's something that keeps scrambling your energy. And you think you get a handle on it, and then you find yourself right back where you started. And so there's this contemplative energy. I feel like this this is you trying to tap into your intuition. You're being very logical, and then you're trying to really do that inner excavation. Go within, really try to find, or yeah, like move aside all that kind of ego chatter that can be very loud, and find that still quiet voice within you that has been very persistent, but it can be difficult to hear sometimes because you have a decision to make. And I feel like this is this point of metamorphosis where you're in the cocoon. You haven't fully emerged from this yet. This um place of trying to figure everything out, essentially. Hey, Happy Bubble is here. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's go. You know what? I'm going to go with the Modern Witch Tarot and Voodoo Ninja. Hello. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Okay, so what's the I want to know more about this. What's the reality of this situation? The 6 of Wands, the Emperor. That's Aries energy. And the Queen of Swords. So now we have the King and the Queen of Swords on the table, which is a match. Again, this is air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Um, there's something here where you are feeling victorious. You feel like you're gaining control over, let's see. I feel like you are in the process of gaining control over yourself because of being so logical, because of recognize, like you're really trying to get to the heart of the matter and really focus on the truth of this, whatever the situation is. You could be feeling, yeah, feeling victorious, feeling like you're rising up to this level of like, you're regaining your autonomy because you are recognizing that you need to set healthy boundaries in order to feel good about yourself, about your circumstances. She's got her sword up. So, this can also be where you are dealing with somebody who they could be in a position of power. a boss or somebody who you may feel has control over you. There's potentially you or dealing with somebody who's kind of in their ego, who's wanting to be in the spotlight, who's enjoying, all the accolades, and you could be feeling like maybe either you want what they have or you want to reach a certain position or status that they have, or somehow you might feel they're wielding their power over you, and you're putting up, whereas here the sword is down, then now the sword comes up and it's like, wait a second, like, we need to have an open, honest conversation about this. You may be speaking about how you 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 will allow certain things and not allow other things, like, because it is about setting healthy boundaries, and it's having a very frank conversation and being very open and honest, and you're like, I'm gonna cut away whatever isn't working for me here, even, so even if it's somebody in a position of authority, you're like, well, you know I'm still in charge of myself. You might have gotten to a certain position, but that doesn't make you like you're still holding your own in a way. So, of course, take this as it resonates. Everybody's story is a little bit different. I think go with the Dreaming Way Tarot. What what is currently hidden that you don't see? Either going on behind the scenes or maybe going on in your subconscious. We've got the Three of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. Which is so interesting because the Nine of Cups, like, typically that's a card where the person is like so excited. And this person just looks kind of contemplative and like, well, I've got all these cups. I feel like I should be happier. um, it could be where, okay, so there's some kind of issue here with you and another person, whether it's romantic or otherwise. Um, they could be feeling like with you putting up your sword, putting up your boundaries, to them, this feels like a personal affront. Like you are, like, just by you holding that sword up, to them, it feels like you're actually stabbing them with your sword. Um, it speaks a little bit to like a codependent thing, or this person could be just really sensitive, like overly sensitive. They've got some, maybe some self-esteem, self-worth issues where they um take things really hard, and sometimes, like, take things very personally when they're not meant to be that way. It could also they could also be the kind of person where they can dish it out but they can't take it. And because they feel personally affronted, they're they're feeling like they're at this crossroads. Do I continue putting effort into this with Taurus, or do I move away? Do I walk away with my bags and, you know, oh, here comes another pentacle. But is that enough? And so, and there's, it's like this person could be the kind of person who, no matter how much you give, it's not enough. This has a feeling of the 4 of Cups. It's like they're 1 cup away from their 10 of Cups, and yet they seem to be ignoring all of this. And this look on the face is like they look kind of downcast, like, oh, this isn't what I expected. I got what I want, but my cat's going crazy. Um, it's not enough. Maybe they've got a little bit of the victim thing going on where they're just like, um, you said you were gonna give me 10 cups and I only have 9. That kind of thing, kind of a victim or a martyr kind of mentality or something. But this can also be how you're feeling, because you you have had, I feel like this energy is you, this Queen of Swords, where you have had to set some kind of firm boundary, and you are looking at walking away, but it's unclear what direction to go because you're very compelled to stay. There's some kind of fulfillment that you get from this situation, from this connection. And this feels like it's tied to this devil, where you're like, I'm getting everything I want, and yet I'm not happy. It's still not enough. Something's wrong, something's off. And this is forcing a change within you. Maybe you're not even real. It's like you're rationally trying to work this out, but you're having a hard time reconciling all of like your thoughts, your emotions, all the parts of you, and getting them all together. Right now, you are in that caterpillar soup stage where, if you're not aware, when a caterpillar is in the cocoon, it breaks down to a bunch of goop. There's nothing left except stuff, caterpillar soup. And the caterpillar literally dies. It they I read that scientists have studied where caterpillars release this chemical that uh, living beings, I think this is true for humans as well, release this chemical when they die. It's kind of this like understanding, like, okay, I'm gone. And so anyway, that's where the metamorphosis happens, is this death happens, and then it's this caterpillar is rebuilt into something completely different. And so I feel like you're going through some kind of ego death or some kind of dark night of the soul. um, you're wanting something but it's not working out, or you keep getting what you think you want, but then you're not happy with it. So it could, yeah, again, apply it as it fits. um DMT, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly right. DMT is what's released when we die, and it's the same for caterpillars in the cocoon. So um I'm gonna go with my tarot of mystical moments. I'm curious what the potential outcome is here. Ace of Swords, Queen of Cups, And the Two of Pentacles. You're gonna come this is a new beginning. This is a beginning based in truth. This is clarity. This is also victory. This is true victory over the mind. This is coming to an understanding, have like realizing, either finding the key or realizing that you had it all along. And and understanding now how to proceed. Now you have the key to that door that you were trying to muscle open, shove open, and it you know, I feel like currently you've been trying to do this, it hasn't been working, because you didn't have the key yet, and this is you gaining that. And the key has something to do, there's healing here, healing some, healing the addiction, healing the toxic behavior or the desire for the the situation that left you feeling depleted and sad, even though you thought you were getting what you want. This is it's your it's coming into balance with your head and your heart. That key is wrapped up in your ability to love yourself, to love others, and your this is your intuition coming online. Finally, you during that phase of being the being the caterpillar soup, you didn't know. You didn't know what you didn't know. You couldn't see clearly. And now, or coming up soon, you're going to come to that understanding that you can't just be logical about everything, although that did help you. But this is you bringing your heart into the equation with your head and working things out, and it's like completing the puzzle. It's a full circle kind of thing. And with the Two of Pentacles, there's balance here. There's a lot going on. I want to clarify this actually. What is this? The Ten of Cups. This is you finally getting that 10th cup. Whereas before, you knew that you didn't quite have what you wanted. You knew you were really close, but it wasn't enough. You knew you were settling. and or better to say, you didn't know you were settling. You couldn't figure out why you weren't satisfied. But then with this clarity, this this energy kind of, you figured out that there was this one thing still missing, and this coming into your life is changing everything up. You could have a lot going on. Once that key opens the door, suddenly you're like, oh my god, I have a lot to manage. And this can be internal, where you're figuring out these wings that you never had before. The wings are drying and you're like, all right, I'm gonna fly. I got to figure out how to make this all work. um, Things are working out. Either either you have a new connection that you are forging, or you figured out the key to make this connection work with this with with this emperor, or with this situation that did feel toxic. It's like you're either moving away or you're healing it so that you can handle it differently. No matter what, there's this ultimate wish fulfillment here. There's this kind of happily ever after feeling. And it's a lot to manage. It's sort of like, like say you're living your life, doing your own thing, and then you meet someone, and now suddenly you have to rearrange your life in order to fit this person in. And it's like learning to juggle all the things that you need to take care of. But now you're very satisfied and you've learned balance, and you're going to be managing it very adeptly. And that's not to say that, everything's going to be perfect all the time, but this this speaks to that coming out the other side, and because you have this support, you have this love, and you're just like, all right, gonna make this work. Yes. So anyway, I like this outcome for you, because the door will be opening wide with the littlest of nudges because of having that key. So, oh, and Redbeard made it. Hello. Thanks for joining. You made it right at the end for your awesome reading. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks again so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.